Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault games. This is the finals of the ELD Legacy Open. Had 27 players for this one. Nice to be getting back to pre-COVID levels. John and Rodney playing each other in the finals. They know each other very well. Great showing for their squad. John's got a Windswept Heath and passing. Sure, they've played this matchup quite a bit and know what the most important cards are going to be. Copy video here. Yavimaya Coasts. Or Yavimaya, whatever the new Treeborg is. I forget the rest of Cradle of Growth. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yavimaya. That one doesn't see much legacy play. Oh, that's actually how I got my first Lotus. Traded for Oil Yavimaya Coasts. Bulk of a Black Lotus back in the day. Reef taking a shot at John's hand. Is fetching, and we will have a Swords to Plowshares on the Grief. Now this is going to get out of hand. We got Dark Ritual. The shields are down. Hand has been shredded. Dark Ritual into Entomb. Going to go ahead. A Gristlebrand into the bin. Bring back with Dance of the Dead. Draw 14. And this is probably going to be it. 99+% of the time, you're drawing 14 cards on the first turn with this deck. That is a wrap. We have Stitcher Supplier, Mills 3. Stitcher, the new card in the list, edging out Shriekhorn. It's black. And it does have more synergy with Cabal Therapy. Now we've got World Gorger being brought back with a Stitcher Supplier in play. Now the entire library will get milled out. That is going to do it. Una Queen of the Fae with infinite mana, mill out John's library. That's how you draw it up. You'd hope for it a little bit faster, but Grief, getting rid of anything that they could use to stop you in hand, and just winning. And that's what the deck does. Quick game one. John does have a lot of interaction. Despite not having blue, he does have access to Bojuka Bog, Durance. Probably has 8 options as well. Lock pieces, so to speak. And I believe Rodney's list currently on Feed the Swarm and Engineered Explosives to handle opposing problem permanents. John mulls to 6 and fetches. It's like he bottomed a Thespian stage. Turn 1, Deafening Silence. Not the best hate versus this deck. It absolutely can win through a Deafening Silence without very much effort. Hit Abdul, you can just get infinite guys just with an Animate Dead. You need to pass the turn. It's still a problem to be solved. Having infinite guys is a problem for most decks. It's like Cabal Therapy hit Endurance. Is another great piece of interaction. Stitcher Supplier. Fortunately, does not interact with Deafening Silence. He can play as many Stitchers as he wants in a turn. Try and set up a lethal graveyard. Elvish Reclaimer is on board and ready to fetch up Bajuka Bog at any point. Now, each of these end steps, we can expect a land to be turned into a better land. Just Mox Diamond in hand. I think, yeah, John missed that one. I was watching this one live. Happened to see that end step, and it's bone chilling to me. I mean, I see that, and it's just like, that's a free Thespian stage there. I think we'd much rather have Thespian stage than Wasteland. Wasteland doesn't help you at all in this matchup. And now, in response, we're getting Bajuka Bog. So currently, there could be a Thespian stage in play. So during this next end step, there could be a Merit Lage, or at least a Dark Depths. Be able to go get the Dark Depths. It will come in tapped, so wouldn't actually be able to get the 2020, but it'd be the following turn. So here, this activation theory could be getting a Dark Depths with a Thespian stage already in play. Thespian stage in hand. Doesn't look it. I mean, I feel like you're going to play it if you have it. A whole likelihood. Opponents. All right, so we've got a Engineered Explosives, but can't activate it and continue doing relevant things. So it looks like, oh, he's got a crop rotation. So Reclaimer not activating here. And that is a wrap. So a 2020 would be made during the end step, untap, swing for 20, GG, on to the third one. Not punished there, but I believe that's correct. Let me know if I'm correct there in the comments that a activation could have happened earlier. If there was a crop rotation in hand for any meaningful amount of time there, then perhaps could have won a full turn earlier as well. Yeah, Dragon's very dangerous. I will say, having watched hundreds and hundreds of matches here for the channel, I think people's accuracy goes down when they're playing against decks that can just straight up win out of nowhere. Maybe it's unsettling. Maybe they're thinking as much about what their opponent's deck can do as what their deck does. Overall, a lot of the inaccuracies that I see do happen against some of the decks that people find unnerving to play against. Rodney will have the play. This is the final game. Well, in theory, I guess he could actually draw with Dragon. Really do like this playmat a lot. I will do something else with this design at some point. I'm very impressed with it. You do some similar Greek knot work on the side, like as an area for the library and graveyard, along those lines. All right, we got Cabal Therapy leading things out. Blind naming crop rotation and hitting it. There is an Outland Liberator. You have the wrong art for it. This is the card on top of Knight of the Reliquary. A1, sack it, destroy an artifact or enchantment. Incredibly good in this type of matchup. specifically Dragon, as Animate Dead and Dance of the Dead not like that ability at all. Stop the World Gorger side of things and the Abdul side of things. Of course, if they do get a Gristlebrand into the graveyard, you're still in a world of hurt. If even if you animate it, they're going to be getting 14 cards. So I suppose if you have any other support, it's possible that you could push through lethal at that point. Probably not. Gristlebrand is absolute thing that makes this deck so dangerous. World Gorger and Abdul stuff is mostly just to eliminate a lot of the outs that your opponent might have. I mean, you're just winning the game on the spot. Ball Therapy hits that Knight of the Reliquary, and looks like a Dark Depths. Oh, and he's got the Bog in hand. That's a little gross. It's not where you want to be. He'll have a decision here. Which land to play. Dark Depths doesn't tap for mana currently. It can with Yavimaya. This game over with as fast as possible. And has been shredded. A couple of quality cards taken from it. And passing the turn. And Liberator. No reason not to attack. We got Dark Depths coming in. It sends and it flips. Gets a little more aggressive. Another Lotus Petal. Yeah, Outland Liberator. Kind of reminds me of a card I used to run in Vintage, Aura Fracture. Much better when you can actually accelerate it out. I don't think it's Legacy playable at all. But that was another card that would make it pretty much impossible for Dragon to win. And we have Engineered Explosives. Oh, Rodney throwing away a Lotus Petal. Just straight up spotting John. Extra card. Plays a Lotus Petal, then blows up Engineered Explosives with the Liberator on board. So Liberator takes out that Lotus Petal. Jams a Stitcher Supplier. Graveyard got hit with Bojuka Bog. Stitcher Supplier comes down and actually hits an Abdul. I think Rodney's short a mana. Conveniently would have had an extra mana with a Lotus Petal. Deck may need to bail him out here. Dark Depths starting the slow thaw plan. That is very unlikely to come to fruition. Unmask. Sees just Mox Diamond in hand. And he does have the Lotus Petal, the last card in hand. He has infinite guys with Abdul if he wants. However, if he still has Una in the deck, he's just going to be winning on the spot as Stitcher Supplier can cycle through. Unmask per usual, clearing the way. Animate on Abdul. So similar to the World Gorger, except each time he's getting a 1/1 body. So I believe he loops it, get infinite guys, and then start looping the Stitcher Suppliers to mill. At some point, he'll have to convert it to World Gorger Dragon. And actually, he's not going to go that way. He's going to just hit Gristlebrand with infinite guys and pass the turn. Interesting. I mean, there was nothing. Maybe he doesn't have Una. And that's it. There was a draw toward Tabernacle there. That would have cleaned up all of those 1/1s, leaving Rodney with just a Gristlebrand, which is not a bad place to be at all. However, John's deck does not bail him out, and Rodney takes down the ELD Legacy Open with a budget build of Dragon. We do have a deck tech on this list. Definitely check that out if it looks like fun to you. You can definitely build that if you're playing competitive formats at all. This is a very affordable budget deck, well under $1,000. And as you can see, can hang with the best decks in Legacy.